Hey coaches, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a pretty simple concept that I think most offensive coordinators spend their entire career trying to create different flavors of, and that is putting the defense in conflict. Figuring out ways that you can take advantage of weaknesses of defenses. And so there's a couple ways you can do this, multiple ways you can do this, but there are two ways I want to talk about today. First way is finding guys that have two different roles on a defense. They're responsible for possibly force and coverage, or they're responsible for possibly the flats and force. They're responsible for more than one thing. So that's what I would call a conflict defender. Somebody that the defense is asking to do at least two things. So most defenses, that's going to be an outside linebacker. Let me give you an example. So if you're in some type of twins look, okay, I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of stuff going on there, but basically you're in some type of twins look. It could be a roll down safety or an outside linebacker, but this player right here is generally asked in most defenses to play force, or maybe he's got a gap in a 4-3 defense. He's also asked to drop into coverage. Offensively, these are the kind of guys you want to target. I call these conflict defenders, where the defense is asking this guy to do two things. And so what a lot of times we will design plays to do, and one of our favorite plays to do is to get our quarterback on the edge. And you can do old school speed option. There's lots of different ways you can do this. We'll do something along the lines of, we'll block here, we'll load here, and we'll run at this kid right here with a little bubble action. And basically, as a loaded speed option, you can run it off a lot of RPOs. We do a lot of backside RPOs. We're reading him. We can read him off of peak routes. Basically, we're going to make sure this kid is wrong, because the defensive coordinator has given him two things to do, and he can't do both simultaneously. He can't go cover a bubble, and he can't go play the quarterback at the same time. So we're going to essentially run at him and cause him to pick. This may be a new terminology for you, but probably if you've called offense long enough, this is how I operate on every single play. A lot of times you'll run routes at this kid where you're going to go here, and he's a conflict defender. Who's he playing? To me, this simplifies the game a lot for your guy right here. So I don't know about you, but my quarterbacks are 16, 15, 17, 18 years old, and so the less I can give them to read on a play, the more effective they're going to be. So as an offensive coordinator, I'm looking for guys on defense that they're asking to do two things. Okay, outside linebackers is the obvious one. You can do inside linebackers as well if they fit on a run. You can throw a little stick behind them. But that's where the RPO world came. So the RPO world came from, we're going to make this guy wrong. If he does this, we do this. And so it's kind of an if-then built in. The other way you can put the defense in conflict is figure out where the eyes of a defender are going and manipulate him. I'm going to give you an example today on buck sweep. So for example, we're going to run, let's say we're going to run buck sweep over here to the tight end wing, and we have an end right here who is reading the headgear of my tight end. Okay, my tight end tries to go gap down backer and release right here. Maybe he's crushing me down, okay, and not allowing it to happen, or he's getting up in there and spilling the buck sweep. Okay, and so what we will do a lot of times, if we know that's the technique he's playing with, that's what his responsibility is, that's how he's been coached, where his eyes are going, is we will give him a false key. So we'll actually step towards him like we're going to block belly to get him to think that's a base block. Because most of the time, defensive ends on a base block are going to try to press it back in the hole and go inside. So we'll step towards him with a false key to enable this block to happen, and then we'll go this way to get our block. All that is we're putting this guy in conflict. The defensive coordinator has coached him all week. This is how we're going to read it. This is where my eyes are going. So as an offensive staff, we spend the entire weekend looking for, what are they keying on defense? Where are their eyes going, and what is their responsibility? And then we want to make sure we manipulate that. Another example, we may want to run, let's say, I'll erase this here. Let's say we want to run jet sweep. We want to run the jet sweep this direction, okay? And we know that usually we run jet sweep, okay? we're going to get this linebacker is going to read our guard. We'll be running buck or counter or whatever it is, okay? So let's say we think that he is possibly reading the guard. So we're going to run jet sweep, block jet sweep, pitch the ball, run jet sweep, except we're going to run a false key for him. So we're going to take our guard and maybe wrap him here and block another play over here and see what he is doing. And that allows us as an offensive staff to figure out where are his eyes going, what's his responsibility, and then we can take and we can put this kid in as much conflict as possible. We want to make these kids on defense doubt that what their coach told them would be true is true. And so as an offensive staff, we want to do as many things to make that kid go over to the sideline and tell his coach that's not what they're doing and start doubting what he's doing, because what that's going to do is slow down their player. It's going to make him process things very slow. So even if he is reading the key correctly, he's going to be hesitant on what he's doing. So to me, the entire goal of our offense, probably most offensive coordinators, is to put the defense in conflict. We like to do that with lots of things, but we want to find the conflict defender who they're asking to do multiple roles. And then we want to find what they've taught their kid and make them a liar, make the coach be a liar by proving it wrong. And if we can do both of those things, then we're going to give our offense a great advantage and a chance to succeed. Because I've got plenty of resources. I know I've not been around as much. Took a new job at Searcy High School. Really excited to be there. Really high level football, and I'm just hoping our season is going to be rolling along here quickly. If you would like more information, you can email me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, fbcoachsimpson. You can subscribe to my channel just by clicking the button down here, or like this video, or you can go to my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, where I've got more of this stuff drawn up. There's a link there to my book that I put out as well. Appreciate your time.